Hey y'all, welcome back to the shop. This is Terry. Hey, we're back on a little Talon project here, and a super simple one. I didn't come up with any of this. I kind of wish I had it because it's extremely cool, but everybody has one of these knows that with the radiator in the front and all these coolant lines and everything going down the transmission tunnel or the shifter tunnel, there is a lot of heat coming through that shifter hole. And I've seen a few other ways that people have tried to mitigate some of that, but this has got to be the coolest one that I've seen, and several other people have already done it, but thought we'd do a little video just to show you how it was going. So this is a Jeep, I think it's like 77 to 79 Jeep transfer case shifter boot, and I got it on eBay. I'll have a link down in the notes, of course, as we always do. And hey, there's been a little confusion about that too, and I just want to make sure that everybody's aware. If you're watching on your phone, right beside the video title on the right hand side, you'll see a little down arrow. So if you hit that, that'll open up the video description and all the notes that I have in there. It has all the links and everything. But anyway, I have a link to this on eBay, and we're going to slightly modify this, and it's actually going to go in around the shifter, but it's going to go in upside down. And everybody that's done this says this really saves a lot of heat, and we're going to give that a try. So it's going to be a pretty simple deal. Super simple tools. There's been a little bit of question and confusion I've noticed on the forums and such with getting the console out. You obviously got to get the console out to do this. And Honda uses a little bit different push pin. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus on this. Maybe not. Hopefully you can see it. So this is the push pin that Honda uses in the console, and it's a little bit different than the normal one. So when it's in there, it's going to be pushed in like that. So it's flush on the top. And the way to release this is just to push this little pin onto the next notch, just like that. And hopefully you heard that click, but onto the next notch, and then that will release it, and it'll all stay together. Now I'm not a huge fan of these things because 90% of the time, for me, and maybe I'm just strong arming it, but I push that stupid thing all the way through, and then it's caught up in the skid plate, and I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, those things, I don't care for that, but some people leave them in there. They are the same size as the regular push pins, so that's what I opt to do, is I just put the regular push pins in these holes on the console, and so they just work, just the way that they normally do with the rest of the push pins. So in order to do this, pretty simple. Like I said, we're going to be cutting this off. I'm going to use a razor blade. I got my tool to get the push pins out. There is this has a little wire reinforcement inside this boot, and we're actually going to cut that part off, but just take that thing out. We don't need that anymore. And in relation to that, I have also insulated this around the cup holders of this console while I had it out. And I'll show you a little bit close on that deal. Definitely, I just cut this with my razor blade, and then took a screwdriver and poked out, hopefully you can see it, those 4 corner holes so it will drain. And what this is Noiko heat and sound deadening. I bought it on eBay. I actually used it for a different project. Those of you that have followed anything on the 31G Momentum 31G toy hauler, I actually put this around the generator housing, and it helped a little bit, but I think it's going to really help here, because any of y'all know that if you ride in the summer, that if you got a bottle of water in there, then it gets to be 100 degrees, and then you got a 100-degree bottle of water. So literally all I did is I just cut this up, stuck that on there after cleaning with regular old 70% alcohol, so it sticks well, and we'll just reinstall that the way it is. So let me reset. We'll move over to the Talon and show you how this goes together. All right, we're back at the Talon, and there is our shift boot in there. So let's talk about a couple things first. you notice the shifter probably doesn't look like the one in yours, and I have a different shift knob. This is my eBay shift knob here, and the way that it goes on, you have to cut the tang off. But for any of you that don't know and maybe haven't had yours apart, there's a tang on here, and the original shift knob is just a press fit on there, and it is a bear to get it off, especially the first time. So a lot of wiggling and pulling, but it will come off of there, but it's just pressed on. And I have the EXE shift gate here, which I love. And so basically what's going to happen here is the shift gate is really just going to hold that thing on there. I'll just bolt it back on. Now this is the factory shift gate, and I don't see why it wouldn't do the same thing. I'm not a huge fan of this. I'm a much bigger fan of that. And but basically I'm just going to bolt this back on, and that's going to hold it on there. So a couple of lessons learned here. Like I said, this is, you can see how that's cut off. I'll throw a picture up there of cutting it off. But so this is what I cut off, and that shifter boot's really tough. So I figured out very quickly that the razor blade wasn't going to work. So I actually have a really heavy duty pair of scissors. So I literally just cut that part off. And like I said, you're basically just cutting to that, not the very bottom one, but the next one. And okay, also right here, you need to cut a little slit in the side for this part of the shifter base to be able to stick through there. And you can see how that works. So that no need to do anything else. Just stick that through there. Everything else seemed to shift out fine. So let me put this all back together and make for sure that everything works, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. All right, got everything buttoned up here. Turned out pretty good. Can't hardly even see the thing in there, but I think it's going to be good. Went through all the gears. Everything seems to be perfectly fine. Going into low just like it did before. We all know how important that is. The EXE's got a little bit longer throw here, so confident we're good there. Did check the cable adjustment while we were there. All that looked good. So I think it's going to be really good. Pretty simple deal. I think the boot was, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. Like I said, I'll have a link in there for it. And simple deal. Even messing around with the cameras and stuff, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe, just between cameras and everything else. So simple enough deal. And we're going to be riding this weekend, and it's going to be about 100+ degree heat index. So we'll see how the shifter boot does for the heat, and we will see how our insulation does on the cup holders and such. And I'll report back from there. So hey, thank y'all for watching very much, and hit that like button, shoot me a comment down below, please subscribe. All of that helps us so much with YouTube, and I just appreciate everybody that watches, and I hope you have a good night. Like I said, any questions or comments, feel free to post down below, and please do subscribe and hit that like button. See you next time.